are driven by the finer things. I see more than materials and wealth. What have you got to give to me? What I don't already give myself. You are driven by the...
Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of Illuminated Disclaimer. Sydney here, and I hope that you're finding new and inventive ways to lighten up your universe. Today I just wanted to talk to you about just looking at everything that's going on, and it just makes me think of just the it's crazy, I can't even talk, I'm a bit speechless. I'm just so buzzing with gratitude and just love. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just feel whole. I feel like I'm just like at a pinnacle where I am. I feel like I'm at the peak of the mountain and the next mountain's there, and I'm just ready to scale that. I just feel like everything's just coming together in a nice little bow, and I just feel proper chuffed. I feel lost for words. I should have gone, should have been going to bed right about now. It's quite late currently, and had, I guess, a pretty busy day. I just came back from teaching, and just a combination of just teaching people, getting good results, and just actually looking back at the last 5 years on the car ride home, it just actually put me in such a good mood. I feel so bubbly and energetic, and I was just like, I can't just go to bed. I can't come home and go to bed. I am going to do a video, maybe even 2 videos. A little cheeky, I know. And just to kind of talk about how I got into this position. And to me, it is just aligning yourself with the right timeline. You know, there's different universes, there's different timelines that we go through, and I felt that in the last 5 years I really went into my own and slowly went into the timeline that I wanted to end up being in. And this all started earlier today, about 5 years ago, I'd say. I would say the lowest point in my life. I was just ready to end it all. And yeah, it was a really difficult time, but I guess when you are depressed and you don't have no purpose, you tend to end up being that person who's just like, what's the point? And I was that person. And that's when I would say about 5 years to the day, I just felt like I was at my lowest ebb. And I felt that I was at rock bottom. But from that point, I saw a flicker of light. And that's when I realized that if this is my bottom, it'll only get better than this. And I used that time to cultivate who I wanted to be. And slowly but surely, long story short, over the 5 years, I got to a point where I slowly became this person who I wanted to be. And then I realized that everything was aligning and pushing me towards that. And some of the journey has been hard, I'm not going to lie to you. I lost people, lost family, I lost those closest to me. Things just happened, but then I got new family members, I met new friends, I went new opportunities, and I realized that things went those way because they meant to be, and I'm so grateful for that. And looking back just over the last 5 years in the car, I was just like, wow, actually what I wanted to be became who I ended up being. And it just made me think to myself, how did I get to that? And it was just realigning myself with who I wanted to be, and just taking every opportunity to get into that person. I won't go into the full story of what happened over the last 5 years in this episode, maybe later. But what helped me was just the beautiful power of the human imagination. Now, if any of you don't listen to Neville Goddard, I would highly suggest listening to Neville Goddard. And he made me realize that there's multiple timelines out there, and you need to use the beautiful power of your own imagination to make sure that you can get on the right train track to get to that desired outcome. And it came to a point when whenever I was alone or whether I was about to go to sleep or waking up, I would just spend some time imagining who I wanted to be. And I tried various things which did work. One thing I would say is light meditation before bed, meditation when you wake up as well, and just trying to go to nature as often as you can and just try and meditate there and just imagining and focusing on the person who you want to be. And you need to know whenever you give energy like that into the universe and you want to manifest like that, just be prepared because the universe will test you. If you're looking for a soulmate, then beautiful people, attractive people will be placed in your way. They might not be right, and you know that they won't be right, but they'll still be there, and it's up to you to decide what to do. If you go with this person and they're not the right person, then you're going to be scaring away your partner, your soulmate, the person who you're destined to be with. You're coming from a place of lack, you're coming from a place of fear. You're chasing, you're not attracting. This person's here and they're like, yeah, hey, how you doing? And you chase them, that's the opposite of attracting. And I realized that I needed to be more in an attraction mode to myself to let the right opportunities come to me. Because if I chase these things, I might lose these things. And it's about getting that simple balance and duality to make sure that what you want comes to you. But you need to make sure that you put the paths out there. You need to be aware that the universe will throw you things that are not what you want in order to test your resolve. The strongest people usually go through the most things, but that's what you need to do. In Pokemon, there's paths where there's no grass, and there's paths where there's grass. And in the paths where there's grass, there are Pokemon. Some strong, some weak, but the more of the story is, you go through the grass, you fight more Pokemon, and your Pokemon get more experience. So sometimes you have to get uncomfortable, sometimes you have to go through these battles, and sometimes the universe throws you things to test your resolve. And I feel like I've been tested multiple times, and I've realized that through those, I managed to find out my identity, who I wanted to be. And 5 years ago, just under 5 years ago, I should say, I was in a different headspace, but eventually when I started reinventing myself, I knew where I wanted to be. I just didn't know how. Working corporate, but changing to work with someone else and work for people and try to be a healer is a long and arduous process. And I applied and applied and applied and I put the work in. And it was only after realizing now that I did so much and I got rejected so much, but I knew where the goal was. I just knew that I had to change my perspective in things and start going towards my desired timeline. One thing that also helped was astral projection. Now, I can't explain what it is to you at this current moment of time, just for time reasons, but in a later video I will do more about astral projection because it's very interesting and I want to do a meditation video to get you to astral project because that's when I saw a different timeline. One time I did it, I saw myself going to a sixth form instead of a college, and I ended up being high up in Boots. I was a manager, but I was like a senior manager in Boots. Had my own place, had 2 children, had a wife, lived in a posh area near me, and I saw that, and I was involved in that. It was crazy because I had like a high top and I had a mustache, but I was not social. I was a complete family person, and I didn't have much friends. And I was like, wow, that's the trade-off. I don't want to go in that timeline. And then I had another astral projection, and I saw myself walking down the street, going to my friend's house, and I had a white garb on. It was just white, and I was just wearing white and gold, and I was just there just like this because I just had so much confidence. I didn't care what anybody thought. And I felt like I was godlike in a sense. Once I had that, I implemented it with something else I tried. It was a meditation technique, and that meditation technique basically said to me, close your eyes and imagine the person who you want to be. What do they look like? How are they standing? What presents do they bring? What do they have that you don't have? And it made me actually think that the one thing I needed more than anything was confidence. Dyeing my hair random color, wearing whatever I want. Doing things without fear or repercussions that anybody's going to say something that will affect me. Having that confidence within myself to actually do what I need to do and just do it unapologetically and just own it, own that space. And that's what I realized. I knew who I wanted to be. And once I started doing those things and actually visualizing the person I wanted to be in the end, I started doing things like definite chief aims. I started using journals. I started going to different events. I started to speak to people. I started to find as much opportunities as I could, because I knew that each little thing will put me one step closer to where I wanted to be. But the visualization and the energy that you want it to happen is so pivotal in managing your success as a person. And it's only until you do introspection you start to realize how far you've gone. But once you do a 5-year or a 3-year or 1-year introspection just to look back at your past and take the positives when it comes to getting to your final desired goal, then that gives you a beautiful window of opportunity to shape your future. I'm someone who says be present. But yeah, it's good to just have that balance and just to look back, see your progress. Look forward to make sure that you're still in tune with your progress. Try new things. This could be a perfect opportunity to see what truly aligns with you. And that's what I did in the car. That's why I was so inspired to do this video, because like everybody else, I've been through a lot. But it's just good to look back and know that what I was saying 5 years ago is actually happening right now. And who knows, in 5 years time you could be looking at this video and just saying, wow, I looked at Illuminated Disclaimer back in 2023 and now it's 2028 and I become that person. Think about it. Just start aligning, start writing things down, start manifesting, start trying to astral project, start finding out your purpose, what truly aligns with you, and the jobs and opportunities will come. I'm guarantee you, once you find that true purpose for you and you work it hard enough, it doesn't feel like a job, but you'll be making several times more than if you were in an actual job. I promise you. But that is the end of Illuminated Disclaimer. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. If you want to see more of what I'm doing currently, please go in the link section. Sorry, the links to comments. No, sorry. Go on the bio. Please go on my bio and look at my link tree. That should have everything I'm going through right now. My LinkedIn, going through that. Got my podcast, Random Disclaimer. That's on a brief hiatus until I arrange a better space. But that's one thing I'll be doing too. My Instagram, so you can keep up with my posts, and my website as well. Please just try to follow, like, and subscribe as well. And the most important thing I want you all to do is to give me some knowledge. Talk about your experiences. I want you to also just give me a topic that you want me to talk about as well. I feel like I can illuminate the world to make a better place, but I need you all to also contribute your stuff as well, because together we can make the world a much better place. And I really want to hear your opinions. I really want to hear your stories. I really want to hear your journeys. I think together we can make an amazing series. This is not just my YouTube series. This is our YouTube series. So thank you so much, and keep finding your path of illumination to make the world a better place. Ashe.